Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. Today, we are going to do some fun with some tarot and channel messages that come through, anything that really comes through, about the energies helping us to ascend into higher frequencies, what they're doing to us, how we can actually progress through them, use them to our advantage, and all of that sort of thing. I'm not an astrologer. I have no idea what's happening around the stars. I do believe in it, but I don't look into it at all. Apart from if my guides lead me to that side of it, I just follow whatever my guides tell me to do. So I suppose I dabble in a little bit of everything, numerology, everything, but it's only when called to. I know enough. That's about it. And I certainly respect all of those, everything that comes my way as messages. But then again, messages can come logically as well. It doesn't have to come, through the esoteric forms or anything like that. Hey Cherie, hey Mona, hey Sandy, good to see you guys. Okay, so we will start off with some. Now, that's right. They told me to tell it reprogramming because there's a massive reprogramming going on at the moment. That's the energy that's pelting us at the moment. So, we've done a lot of shadow work, and shadow work is a lot of reprogramming because we have neuron paths within our brain that's firing up. And if we keep on repeating the same thing, or we're programmed to be listening to the same thing, then we start to convince ourselves that's who we are, and we can easily get rid of that program by no longer focusing in on it or saying that it is part of our identity. When we're little, we are feeling based because we are coming straight through from the soul's point of view. And it's only because our logic side of ourselves has been, they're saying discombobulated. I don't even know if that really works in this sentence, but we'll go with that. It's been unbalanced, is the feeling I'm getting from that word. As in not, it's been taking over too much of how we feel about ourselves. Because if we feel and we start to act from what we feel, then we're acknowledging ourselves, and we're no longer listening to somebody else telling us that we should feel a certain way. So the reason why they called it deprogramming is because there's ways within ourselves that we can really hone in on reprogramming ourselves, because the imbalance came from being programmed out of listening to our feelings and trusting a system pulled over us that was, for others' agendas, so to speak. So what I did anyway recently, because I do see some programs still running around in my own mind, and I like to keep you guys up to date with what I'm doing myself as well through all of this. They led me to a sleep meditation. So I just put on one ear because I don't want to lie on the other earplug, and just listen to the sleep meditation, which is all to do with affirming that I am abundant, that I am, I am limitless, and I can do whatever I want, and all that sort of thing. That reprogramming my brain as I fall asleep, getting to those subconscious points of view that were really tackled by the system when we were kids. Just constantly it's surrounding us, and it's also another way to get out of it, because even though we are trying to reprogram ourselves, we are constantly bombarded with the system, with everything telling us that we are worthless, that we, even at school we had to be competing against our peers instead of learning to work with them. That to me is just absolutely ludicrous, that only one person could be a winner, and everyone else fails. And no one could win at everything anyway, that sort of thing. So that pulled us into a victimized state, And sometimes, no matter how hard we try, because we are constantly bombarded by this, we tend to find it hard to get certain programs out of our head, because it was so embedded into us from such an early age that we were worthless or not worth listening to, or shouldn't be acknowledged. What was it when I was a kid? Kids should be silent, seen and not heard. That was the one, seen and not heard. Yeah, ridiculous. Here I am, a channeler, speaking and everything, and that was a really ingrained one into my brain. A terrible program, really. So if you want to have a look down in my comments, I've put a link to the video that my guides led me to. And if I find any ones out, any others, sorry, I will give them to you as well. So it just helps us deprogramming while we are surrounded by a system that's pulling us under constantly. Let's get into these tarots anyway and see what they pull up for the energies at the moment, what we can focus on, where we can go from here. Okay, we've got one that's fallen out. It's upside down. I don't know what it is yet. That one wants to come out. Looks like only two. Oh, I'll take two of those. That's fine. So we have Dragonling Garden, a new world is born. That to me, I don't know if you guys have been following me. I know everyone in the chat bar's been following me, but if you haven't been following me, the last couple of messages, it's been like this egg that's cracking open, and we're starting to finally take our power back and understand that we are more than just an egg. We're more than what we were programmed to believe we were. And this is a perfect card just to go that next step. Dragonling Garden, a new world is born. So something completely mysterious, something completely magical about this card is being born. And I'd say within us all, understanding that we are more than what our limited logic mind can handle. And that brings in all these other new gifts. It could be talking to the animals, being more telepathic and communicative with everything. It could be that, you are connected to the stars and benevolent beings and all of that sort of thing as a soul, or connected to the earth a lot more. You could just be somebody who finally sees the beauty in themselves, finally sees who you are as an I am allowed to look as pretty as I want to, and my persona and my looks can change as I do. It can be all fluid. I don't need to be stuck in a rut of how I look all the time. It's interesting, they're showing me a teenager that goes through that whole dark period of learning all about, that they almost becoming friends with death and sort of, going into that dark side of life within themselves. But then even they will end up one day realizing they don't need to be stuck in that. And if they are stuck in it, they're no better than being programmed into anything else. They're showing me that because we do tend to, as humans, get caught up in certain personas, certain identities, certain feelings of that we are only that and we cannot be any more. And that should be a fluid sort of just easygoing, flowing sort of a thought about ourselves. Allow self to introduce self to self. Wow. Okay. So yeah, allow a new self to be introduced to the person, to yourself, and see where it takes you. start to, like if you see something that you don't like about yourself, then say to yourself, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. Let it go and see what happens, see if it comes back. I've done that several times throughout these readings when I first started a couple of years ago, and I would repeat certain words sometimes, and then I'd look back at them and then I go, oh, I've got to stop that, because it's like I don't know, something that I've got into a habit of, and I don't want to become that habit. We don't want to become habits. We want a new garden. We want to start fresh. We want something to birth that is magical in us. And if to do that, we need to let go of our logical safety net, that it needs to know exactly where everything is going to go if we do decide to change from within ourselves. And next to that was raised by wolves, you belong. Interesting what they're bringing me up with this as well. There was a movie that happened, and at the end of it, the wolves were seen as those that pulled the system over our eyes. You're raised by wolves, but you belong. So you came here specifically for this journey. Remember that. If you take that power back and stop seeing yourself as a victim in this reality, then you can, if you do that, then you can find a way out, because you'll go, well, I decided to be here, to be born, to go through all of this, to be put in a situation where I was programmed to be victimized. I'm taking that power back. You were raised by that. But when you take that power back, you have a sense of, well, then I can make another choice. I can choose to birth the magic from within me, to bring myself out of that. I am beautiful and I am an amazing person just because of the fact that I saw my power before I came here to be enough to actually be able to handle this. And that means that I'm no longer a victim anymore. My soul would never have brought me here and put me in this position unless it knew damn well that I could get myself out of it. And so to get myself out of it, I have to have a sense of belonging to myself, a sense of I'm okay with all of this. I'm not even sure if this is what this card means, but this is the message that I'm getting out of it. Oh my gosh, here we go again. Sorry, there's always this silly Billy, the person over here that's done this. And let's see if we can get rid of this one here. I really need to get a couple of mediators again. She's a tricky little thing. Okay, got it. Support. Graphic. Promote terrorism. Don't think so. Do that one. No, do that one. Yeah, so got that already out. And let's carry on. So there's always something that's going to try to push our buttons, right? And it's just a matter of using our own grace to pull ourselves out of it. And don't see it as something that's against us. It's not against us. It's just the way that we are born into this system that needs some help, right? And we're the ones that can help it by staying calm and being graceful through it all. I'm finally getting used to all of those sort of things that happen in the chat bar. Finally not getting, I used to get a little bit of anxiety, my heartbeat would race and all of that sort of thing. But I finally trained myself out of that because I don't want to see them as something more powerful than me. And I think that's a really good lesson right there. That's beautiful, actually. Let's see what else the cards have to say. Hey, Paula. Good to see you. And I think I didn't say hi to Diane either. Okay, here we go. Gosh, it's taking ages, right, to come through. Please align us with the truth for the messages for this week. Help us ascend even more. Branding. I just got a message of a new brand of self, a new brand, as in branding yourself. That's interesting. Why would they say that? I'll leave that one. Okay, here we go. We got some now. Gosh, they took a while, didn't it? So we have, okay, it seems to be there's elementals. So nature spirits, the 4 elements. Nature spirits are always something to do with elements. In other words, there will be sprites and that to do with salamanders and that are to do with the fire energy. There's the air energy or the wind energy, which is the fairies. There's the earth energy of the dwarves and gnomes and so forth. And there might be a correlation between who you are and how you are, and you being able to get messages from the elementals to help guide you with this new energies as well. This is the thing. These new energies are cracking us open to something more. We're stepping out of just this is who I am, and I have to follow this day-to-day guidance of getting up in the morning, go to work, coming back, fixing up the house, making sure all the family's all safe, and then we maybe watch a movie, and then we go to bed, and then we get up in the morning, we go to work, and it's always the same thing. And just about everyone as in humanity that is stuck in that loop will feel this sense of that it's like they've been programmed that they are the better person. In other words, they're the better society, not person, society, where they are rich, they have a house over their head and all of that, they have a car. And then you might go to a place like Fiji and they don't have as much over there. You know, they live in better brick buildings, although it is a lot warmer over there as in climate-wise. But they have a lot more connection to their magical self. They have an understanding of their connection to each other. They, when I was over there, I saw an old lady that went for a walk through the sea with a sack on her back, and she just found all of these octopus to feed her family. And she was, I don't even know how she carried them all, but anyway, she found all these octopus. And to be able to do that, to know, to work with earth, to feed your family and all of that sort of stuff, it gives you a sense of absolute pride. Instead of working 9 to 5 and then coming home and feeling because you didn't like your work, you didn't feel connected, and all of that sort of stuff was really hard for you. So the elementals is something here that we can learn from when we start to connect back to them again, find our center of ourself, step out of something that we thought was actually there for us, but we were actually serving it instead of it serving us, as in the earth helping guide us. We were serving it and bringing in the money, doing the work for something that ended up getting a lot more out of it than what we ever did. That sort of thing. There's a crack opening in humanity's consciousness with that at the moment. People are starting to really see through that. And that's actually breaking open. It's going to be a ping pong effect where light workers that come here that saw through it pretty much straight away. But there were only a few of us. We kept beaming and shining a light, telling our story, saying, something has to shift. And ones that are feeling stuck but felt very entangled into the into the way that the life works, ended up staying in that stuckness. But now they're starting to open up because the more that the ones try to push us into a problem, they're actually showing their true colors. And so they're opening up as well. And then they're looking for alternative ways of seeing things, or coming from a different mindset. And the light workers are the ones that can show them that. So then they're opening up, which actually ping pongs back to the light workers to say, oh my God, now we can take a next step, because we were exhausted. We were exhausted doing what we had to do. And now we can see they are actually starting to open up. So that's given us another oomph. So there's something happening there with the cycles of everything working together to awaken. This is what is supposed to happen now. There's no turning back anyway. It is going to happen. And it doesn't matter how much they try to program us into this, other things are going to take over, maybe AI and stuff like that is going to take over. It's not going to completely work, because the whole purpose of this ascension was to bring through the rightful energies that are going to light up all the deception and lies and the unbalancedness, and then bring in all of those that have the power, way more power than what anything else could be, because they're taking their power back from love. There's something happening here. We have the prophets and the seers and the ancient seers coming through, decisions, predictive guidance. People are going to see through the illusion. We're going to become our own prophets and seers within our own reality, and learn to create our own path. We're the ones that are going to shine and decide that we can change things up quicker than what we were before. And the reason why there was a bit of a slump in the last year, especially this year, where it just felt like we were trudging through mud, is because we were tired. And it's fair enough. We went through a really massive shift just in 2020, 2021, 2022, massive shift. So of course we're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted here for a bit. So there is a bit of a lull. Don't get too upset if nothing was happening for you in that time, even though they were still giving us messages of things are going to change. It's going to change. Hang on there. Keep hanging on. It's going to happen. There's, oh my God, I just saw what the last card of that pile was. There's prosperity coming. That's so cool. Abundance, success. And how beautiful is this? A golden brick road, right? Not even yellow, it's golden brick through to the castle. Like, just absolute gorgeous. A gorgeous picture here for us to focus on and understand that this is where we're going. We know where we're going, and it's going to become lighter and lighter. That feeling of exhaustion, it's going to become lighter. We're not going to feel so anymore moving through this. We're going to realize that whenever we go into the old mindset of having logic only dictate how we move through this world, and following other people's advice and not listening to our own feelings, that's going to feel like sludge. That's going to feel like mud. That's going to feel difficult. But when we come back into, no, I feel this way, my soul is guiding me to make a move towards this group, to make a move towards this business, to make a move towards even buying a lottery at this moment, or something like that, or turning this corner. It's that is going to become lighter, because then you're going to be faced off with a better, loving, more permanent loving situation. Something more is coming out of that. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the tarots have to say. I usually do tarots first, but they said do oracles first this time. Okay, these ones just flew out, so we'll take this. See, okay, Three of Swords is coming up quite a bit at the moment. So we have the Three of Swords. This is that feeling of, oh my God. And it's we don't want to be fixated on this anymore. We want to pull these swords out. We want to say, okay, these things happened to help me with my shadow work, to understand where I wasn't empowering myself. We want to see an understanding in this card. This card, whenever it comes up, everyone goes, oh, no, is that what's going to happen? But it was the first card that popped up. So I always see it as the past, and then I move forward towards the future. To me, if we look at this card instead of a dread, instead of the fact, and look back at our lives and see your dread, see it as the advantage of it's showing us a path. It's showing us to take, and it came out next to, these two cards came out. So this is like feeling really vulnerable, not being able to see where I'm going, not like this person's blindfolded. There's a spirit guide, a horse, something coming in the distance, and it's shining. It's like I see this rainbow like flickering through there from the lights, not from the card, because these are holographic cards, but it feels like it's split, and this person is in this indecisive mode of how to move next, and got the blindfold on, and there's this horse, this spirit guide here that's going, it's okay. It's like they're saying to me, whispering in your ear to say it's okay. You can put down the protection now. You don't need to protect yourself because you don't know what's going to happen next. Put them down, trust us, and take the blindfold off, because they can't take the blindfold off. They can't not see what's happening next when they're holding on to these swords of protection. So we have to let go of protecting ourselves from these three of swords happening again, and trust in the energy that's present, that it's bringing us something better. The five of swords came in reverse as well. So this is a real letting go of the battle. No more battles. We've got to start to see our life as to our advantage. But to do that, sometimes you have to take what's happened to us in the negative and what's happened in the negative and turn it around into, it was just showing me a path, a better path. Because if I didn't have that negative happening to me, I would have still been in that victimized state of mind of I'm worthless. But when that happened, I had to stand up for myself and say, I am better than this, and I don't need this reflection anymore. And then the last card that came in, it was in reverse, but it was the Queen of Wands, which is moving into action about this and taking like she won't sit still in her on her seat, on her throne. She knows who she is, and she is the queen within herself, moving towards helping, guiding others, seeing life from a new perspective, and sharing that story with others and helping everybody else come out of their shell. She's someone of action, but at the moment you might feel like, well, I'm empowering myself. I'm just going to stay sitting in this throne for a little while, and I'm empowering myself to know that whatever I do next, it's nothing to do with what my logic is telling me is safe. It's everything to do with how much have I supported myself? How do I feel about me? And then you can move down any path. You can have anyone, like I can have anyone coming in the chat bar and giving me shit, excuse my language, trying to annoy me, but I stay calm and I get myself out of it. If I was in anxiety, I wouldn't be able to click on the right button to be able to get that person off as quickly as I did, because they had something covering up the button, the three buttons that could get me out of them. They were bloody clever. I have to admit, they're getting cleverer. Why are they getting cleverer, guys? Because we are waking up. So we're seeing them as getting cleverer or doing something else and rah, rah. And we're like, yeah, but we can see through you. But it's actually saying, are you empowering yourself enough to use what you see through them to actually carve a new path and move down that street, instead of following the focus on them, which is what they want. They want you in fear. They want you to be focused in on that side of the fence. It's how they've done it all their life. That's all they know. And that's how they know to get you into that place of victimization, because you cannot get yourself out of a situation through fear. You will only get yourself out of it and into another fear game and into another fear game. So we're no longer, we've been asked to no longer focus in on all of this. We are asked to bring ourselves into supporting who we are from the inside out and saying, you know what, they don't even do anything to me anymore. I can see another path out of this. Or I can ask my guides to show me another path. There was a horse, remember, in this story. That's the guidance. If you don't feel you can trust your own inner guidance, then ask for a benevolence guidance to help you see something more. There's always something that can help you out of things. You just have to have the will to say, no longer that, I'm moving towards this. And I feel that's the shift that's happening at the moment. And we need to take more advantage of deprogramming our own brain of self-limitation. And if that is stepping outside of the proverbial box of, well, I've always done it this way. I've always helped myself. I never followed somebody else. I've never listened to anybody tell me things in my head as I've gone to sleep, because I always say, well, I can get myself out of it. I'm a bit of a stick in the mud like that. And it's great because I've learned a lot. But in this last month that I really want to shift something so that I can become the person that I know I am, the goddess that I know I am, that you guys are also, I need to have that extra help, outside help. So my guides have led me to this meditation to help me sleep, to help me bring in, I am abundant, I am creating and carving a new story, and all of that sort of stuff. So go take a look at that link anyway. That's why I called this reprogramming. Okay, and interesting how the message actually fell and that went that way as well for the general reading too. Reprogramming. Okay, just give me a moment and I will have a sip of tea. Okay, what else have we got here? So this is another leaf. Okay. See what other messages we've got here. Oh, okay, so we have dreams, just as I was telling you guys that we want to get to that state of mind that's deep, deep down within us and shift those thoughts that are telling us we are small. We are not small. We have to start dreaming and achieving what our goals. Think big. There are unforeseen forces ready to support your dreams. Chase your dreams. You may be surprised where they lead you. That's what's on the back of both of those cards. And then they're telling me, to listen to this, to this guidance. Chase your dreams. Yeah, our focus can sometimes be on the wrong thing and we don't even see it happening. It's like something will happen during the day that's not so good. And then we start to focus in on it of, how do I get myself out of that again? And the next time that it happens, that's logic taking over. Logic can't shift something like that. Only because logic will only grab from the past, project into the future, and it's a copy and paste mentality. That's why we have a copy and paste reality. And that's why in our exams, all we do is ever copy and paste. That person said that, so you have to write it exactly as that. It's changing now. The school systems are changing a bit now. I've had 3 children spanning my last one's just leaving school now. She's in year 12. My oldest one is a scientist over in Sweden, and she's 33 years old. So I followed the school system for many years. And I've seen some changes happening in them. But still, just like the elder that I was working with me, she said, take them out of school. Was one of the first things she said, because she knew what it was doing to them. But we're in this game for a reason. I couldn't, because my ex wouldn't allow it. So we're in this game for a reason. They chose both of us as parents for a purpose, and they probably wanted to find out what school was all about as well, so that they could help others get out of it and so forth, or shift it, or go within and shift it. I don't know, but their story is their story, and that's who they chose. And I just had to accept that that's how it was going, and did my best with them throughout the whole game. And I certainly stood up for them through certain things that were necessary, but I certainly kept myself back whenever I felt like it, that was it's their life. It's also that asking us to rest and just take it this easy. Like, don't be too hard on ourselves at the moment. We have been through a lot. So just enjoy the rest at the moment. It might not feel like everything's happening right here, right now, but almost like spring in the southern hemisphere, and it would be autumn probably in the northern hemisphere. Some changes are coming with the seasons, let's put it that way. So with the changes of the seasons, we've just come back into rest until then anyway. It's like another step up, and then we're going to have to get used to that new step, and then we will see the fruits of our labor, so to speak, is what they say. Okay, I will do some free readings for anyone who wants to just say yes, please, and we will use tarot for the readings. Or shall we I might use the Osho, actually, for the readings. We didn't do our animal card. I will do one quick animal card. I like to let the animals have a say. Okay, so we have bison, abundance. Yay! It's a good one. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the ways of gratitude and prayer. And that came out with eagle, mastery. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Okay, so beautiful. Abundance and wisdom coming in, guys. This is the crack. And on the bottom of the deck was rebirth, butterfly, transformation. We're definitely going there. Look at that. Tiger, unstoppable. Whale, adventure. Horse, freedom. And then you have your own personal choice of what you want to create. That's pretty cool. Here we go. Okay, Emily Hearts. Emily Hearts. Emily Hearts, Emily Hearts, Emily Hearts, Emily Hearts. Beautiful. Oh, we had this kerfuffle happening here, and then this card flew out. So I'm just going to go with this. Look at this. Emily Hart, we have a healing card. So something within you that's needing healing, because it's got a thunderbolt. So you might have had some sort of moment, a tower moment, where something broke away from you, or you shifted into some other. It's like, and then asking you to be patient with. It could have happened a wee while ago, and you're still healing from it. And so there's patience card coming out with you. But I know I usually only do one card, so I'll do these really quickly. But what really flew out was the abundance card. That one flew out big time. These cards kind of got scuffled in it. but this is the card where you're going. So you're definitely on the right path. Don't panic about anything. Be patient with all of this. There's a massive healing that's happened after a tower moment that happened to you. So like abundance is on its way. You're going to be fine in the end. Just center yourself. They're showing me, keep on centering yourself. I am worthy. I am supported, and I am loved. Just keep centering yourself. Whenever your mind starts to go wander off into what might have happened, because whenever you do that, you become the central point of your own existence, and anything is possible. Nothing is possible, and that might nice. Where there is zero, where there is nothing, anything is possible. That's how it works, because you are coming back into 0 point of yourself. And so then all possibilities can happen then, instead of just focusing in on one thing, trying to catch yourself before it all happens again. Then you end up focusing in on bringing the worst thing back up again. So this is a healing game for you at the moment. Okay, who else have we got? Paula, totality. They want you to, I'm not going to do that. Totality card came out for you. They want you to, whatever you do it 100%. And then like, it's like, say you have like 10 things you've got to do, and throughout the day you go, okay, I've got let's say 5. 10's a lot, right? You got 5 things you've got to do during the day. They're asking you to pick up one thing, do it 100%, and then even if you're only halfway through it, if you feel I've had enough of that, put it down, pick up another thing that you really, that you thought, now I feel like doing. Do that 100% and keep doing that. You're still being totally 100% with everything you're doing, but you're doing it in a place where you're giving yourself freedom to choose what you want to do when you want to do it, instead of being in doing one thing and thinking of another. Then you're not totally there, and then you end up making mistakes, or something doesn't quite go well, good enough in that one thing. So when they say totality, it means thinking it, being there 100%, and then you'll feel a shift, because your mind will start to say, try this over here, and then go, okay, I'll put this down and I'll try that one over there, but I'm going to be 100%. And then slowly it will become longer and longer. There's times where they're teaching you how to be totally in the moment, at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Rebirth. Experiences. So this is a really good card for you to go out into nature and hug a tree. This is a really good card for you to connect back to nature. Experiencing. Seeing in the small things the greater things. There's a greater awareness in the smallest of flowers, a seed being. They're literally showing me, if you go out into nature, nature will show you signs for you. So there's something, I think that was to do with like the nature spirits that came into the elementals in the general reading, to go outside and find the signs by experiencing where you truly are. We aren't this house. We built this house. We built the fences. We built all of that. But to really be experiencing life is to go out into nature and be at one with that, and see the signs that come up, the animals that show themselves, the plants and what they're doing. It's interesting, like they're showing me, I used to hug trees quite a bit, And there was this fella when I was single for 9 years that I'd met, and I wasn't sure if he was the one, kind of thing. And I went to hug a tree, and all of the stuff fell on my eyes and my mouth, and I ended up coughing and spluttering and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I think that tree's telling me, because I've never had that happen before. I hugged heaps of trees. It was like telling me, there's something a bit not quite right here with this relationship, that sort of thing. Signs that could come to you from nature by experiencing the real world. Okay, who else have we got? Maggie Smith. Maggie, dreams has come up for you, so they really do want you to go into your dreams. And I really do recommend the video down below that I've put a link to, that my guides led me to, because I think that they're wanting you to dream a new dream, to bring in a new reality into your life. They're telling me wisdom. There's wisdom within you that can help you with this. Something. Don't limit this dream. Don't be afraid to think big, because things will always move you that way anyway. Sometimes we're scared to think big in case it doesn't work out. But why not think big? And then if 50% of it works out, isn't that way better than thinking small and never actually getting anywhere? So think big. Think big. And you'd be surprised what could happen with these new energies that are helping us at the moment anyway. You'd be surprised how quick things can turn around. Okay, who else have I got here? Paula. You're welcome, Maggie. Paula, the rebels come out for you, so they want you to... If you feel like you need to do or say something that is a little bit off-putting for others or whatever, just they're asking you to step forward and just be that. But always come from the love of self, always come from the heart of self. Sometimes we need to be the rebel to push forward, to be assertive. We literally have to learn to be assertive in this world, to stand up for ourselves and who we are and where we're going, but not ever from a fear-based point of view. This true rebel would never do anything from fear. He would never do anything from victimization and overreaction. He would only go, I am fierce enough to know thyself so well that I will move forward with this and break this chain. I don't need this anymore, and I'm moving forward, and that's it. They're asking you to step into your fire, into your passion, into your desire to be what you want to be. Yeah. You're welcome, Emily. Okay, who else have we got here? Sorry. Leanne F. Leanne. Okay, Lee. No way. The dream again. This whole thing, I should have probably called it dreaming, but it is reprogramming. We are reprogramming ourselves. But we're also using our dreams to reprogram ourselves. Okay, they're bringing me to lucid dreaming with you. When you can learn to lucid dream, you can start to learn to lucid life. So lucid dreams means that you actually take control of your dream and the dream. Okay, I know I'm dreaming now, so I am going to change the story because I don't like the outcome into this other story. You start to lucid dream, you're controlling your dreams, and you can shift them because you're aware of the dream. And they want you to do that in life as well. This is where this whole lucid dreaming is going, to learn to lucid life. okay, I know where I'm going. I'm being the observer of my life, and I don't like that point that it's where it's taking me. So I'm going to dream a different, or I'm going to think or imagine a different path for me while I'm awake, or not asleep. And then you start to lucid dream your life, if you get what I mean. By imagining something different, we're literally learning to realize that our life is a dream just as much as our dream is a dream, and that we can actually, even though our logical brain has fixated this into being more real, because we can tangibly touch things and it goes in a linear story, does not mean that it's not malleable and can actually move through from your own thoughts moving. That's so cool. I might have to do a chat on that one or channeling on that one. Okay, guys, I will love you and leave you here. And don't forget, I will be doing channeling on Thursday. And I love it when people come in the chat bar and ask me a few questions. Sometimes I'm so in the zone that I don't see them, but then every now and then they give me a space to be able to read a question. So if you do have any questions on Thursday about our ascension, where we're going, how we can improve things, could be on things that are happening in the world at the moment, maybe, and I will see what comes through for that. I love you guys heaps. There's so much going to be changing up this next season. It's spring for me coming up, and I can feel it already. We've got one more month left, or half a month left of winter, and then we're moving into spring, and then it's my birthday. Yay, I was born in spring. Always brings me good luck. So love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye. Don't forget, I do readings as well. So if you want a one-on-one reading, just click the link below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep forgetting to say that. Okay, bye.